Almost 100 years ago in 1927, physicists and physics broke in half. We started looking at the very small things, the atoms, the electrons, the photons of light, and we found that the rules of the clockwork of the universe do not apply down there. The quantum realm is a place of shadows and ghosts. A particle doesn't exist in a single place at a single time. It exists as a probability, a smear of potential. It's spinning up and it's spinning down at the same time. We call it a superposition, and Albert Einstein hated this. He despised it. He looked at the mathematics of quantum mechanics and he famously declared, "God does not play dice with the universe." Einstein believed that the quantum realm only looked random because we were missing some information. He believed there were hidden variables, secret gears turning behind the curtain of the cosmos that we couldn't see yet. But another physicist, Niels Bohr, stood the ground. I'm looking at research right now, and this is really interesting. Niels Bohr argued that the universe really played dice. He argued that the particle literally did not decide what it's going to do until the moment you measured it. For decades, it was a philosophical debate. You can't prove a hidden variable does not exist. You can't prove a negative. Until a physicist named John Bell drew a line in the sand. Bell invented a mathematical test, a way to corner the universe, a way to prove once and for all that the universe was hiding some secret information, or if it was truly fundamentally random. It required a phenomenon so strange that Einstein called it spooky. When two particles interact in a certain way, their fates become permanently linked. If you measure one and it's spinning up, the other one is instantaneously spinning down. It doesn't matter if they are a millimeter apart or if they are on the opposite sides of the Milky Way galaxy. And this is what these guys are trying to explore. They know instantly. Physicists realized that if they could perform a Bell's test on an entangled particle perfectly, they could generate a string of numbers that had no hidden variables. A string of numbers that the universe itself didn't know existed until the exact millisecond they were measured. But how would you do this perfectly? That is where the universe fights back. If the particles are too close together, they could secretly communicate information to each other, correct? If they're too close, that could happen. If detectors are too close, they could miss the data. So for 50 years, the universe always slipped through a loophole until the physicists built a perfect trap. And this is that trap. Researchers take two atoms, two qubits. They entangle them in a central laboratory and then they separate them. They send one to a building down the street. They send the other one to a completely different building. They put hundreds of meters of solid earth and concrete between them. This is the genius of the trap. And we're talking about the constraint. Nothing in the universe travels faster than the speed of light. Not a signal, not a magnetic field, not information. Light takes a specific, measurable amount of time to travel across that college campus from one building to another one. So the physicists have a timer, a cosmic stopwatch. They measure both atoms simultaneously. They don't just look at them, they randomly switch the angle of the detectors right before the measurement actually happens. They execute the measurement so fast, in a fraction of a microsecond, that there's absolutely no time for the light speed signal to travel between the two buildings. The particles cannot warn each other. They cannot share any hidden variables. They're completely physically isolated from each other. This is a genius thing. Now, without a cause, this is where you need to slow down. This is where the human mind actually struggles to comprehend this. This is what's actually happening. Now, the laser fires, the detector shifts, the atom is interrogated. Because of the speed of light, it's cut out from the rest of the universe. You know what I mean? Like, it cannot transfer information between the two atoms. It has no domino following behind it to push it forward. It's entirely alone and it's forced to make a choice. It's forced to make a decision, 0 or 1. In that infinitesimal fraction of a second, the universe invents a number that did not exist before that moment, a number that was not predetermined by the Big Bang, a number that Laplace's demon with all the supercomputers in existence could never ever predict. The researchers run this test again and again and again, millions of times, and they check the math. They run John Bell's inequality equation, and the math is flawless. The loopholes are closed. They hold in their hands the holy grail of physics, a string of perfectly, terrifyingly beautiful random numbers. The practical application of this is immediate. We're entering an age of quantum computing. We're entering an era where the old digital locks will be shattered by machines. They think in superpositions. This breakthrough gives us the ultimate shield, a certified quantum random number generator, a lock built not out of clever algorithms, if-then statements, or maybe AI, unbreakable laws of space-time. But I want you to step away from the cryptography for just a moment. I want you to think about what this means for you. When we believed in deterministic universe, it was really easy to feel like a passenger in it. It was easy to look at the grand, sweeping arc of cosmos history and feel like everything was just a script. It was predetermined, written 14 billion years ago, and the Big Bang happened, and right after, everything was just predetermined. That every joy, every tragedy, every choice you've ever made was just an inevitable collision of atoms that were always destined to collide. But down in the basement of reality, down in the cold, dark silence of the laboratory, we forced the universe to show its hand. And the universe admitted it doesn't know everything. It admitted that the script is not finished. At the very foundation of the matter, there's spontaneity. There's always an inherent underlying unpredictability. The cosmos is not a clock winding down. It's a living, breathing engine of infinite possibility. When you flip a coin, the physics may dictate how it lands, but the fact that the universe contains true randomness means that the future is fundamentally open. You are made of these particles. We are built from the dust of dying stars, governed by the exact same quantum mechanics that were tested in that laboratory. The future is unwritten, not just philosophically, but physically. The universe is making it up as it goes along, and so are you.